Welcome to today's conversation with Professor Roberto De Vogli, whose strategic campaign mobilized the three major medical associations within days of a conference rejection, culminating in a Lancet publication that challenged the profession's selective silence on Palestine. Professor De Vogli's journey from rejection to impact offers crucial insights for healthcare professionals who feel morally compelled by the genocide on Gaza but are uncertain whether action through professional channels is possible or effective. Roberto, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I would like to begin before the campaign itself, before the letters and publications. How did you feel about what is happening?
So it all started with an abstract that was rejected, right? So the abstract was about breaking the selective silence on the genocide in Gaza in a large conference supposed to address global health issues like a genocide, right? When I asked the conference organizers how many other abstracts there were on the genocide in Gaza, there were some evasive answers. So I felt I should pursue this further. Basically, we don't know whether my scientific abstract was not scientifically sound enough, right? But eventually I got published in the Lancet twice. The same topic was published on other article in Globalization Health. And also I got a book published on the same topic. I decided to organize a campaign because the topic of the selective silence of public health associations and academic associations, I felt deserved further scrutiny and action. So we collected 15,000 signatures, professors, academic professionals, and we pushed many academic associations to revise their policy statements and acknowledge the genocide in Gaza.
How did you approach this strategically? Who did you contact first and why?
It was just me and Jonathan Montemoli, the founder of Rimini for Gaza. But then I started contacting people, first the closest professionals and colleagues I know. And then I saw that there was so much attention and solidarity among colleagues. But I think one of the key strategy was to get signatures from top scholars in the field of genocide, public health, the history of Middle East. Among the first signatories, there is Ilan Pappé, Omer Bartov, journalists like George Monbiot on The Guardian, writers like Nassim Taleb, Martin Shaw, and others. I think this was pivotal because it showed that there was merit in what we were raising as an issue, and it needed to be addressed.
Why do you think this work when many assume medical associations want to move on Palestine?
So public health advocacy works. I think what made this letter effective was that we use an evidence-based approach. We use all our research skills to expose the injustice and the genocide in Gaza, letting facts and science speak for themselves instead of sharing our opinion. Also, it's important to organize a campaign with some feasible objectives. So, for example, now we have collected signatures for the liberation of Dr. Abu Safia and all health professionals that are in Israeli prisons. But the distance between our efforts and those in power who can concede this type of change is very problematic, right? When thinking about strategy, it's important to set up feasible goals and trying to involve people in the achievement of these goals.
Many mid-career clinicians and professionals feel inspired by actions like yours, but also think, I don't have visibility, I don't know influential academics. Which parts of what you did actually required none of those?
I totally understand the concerns of especially young professionals, researchers on soft funding. I got personally attacked, insults, and other type of things. So when you express solidarity in a very vocal and clear way, you may have some effects that are undesirable. But I think you are silent before a genocide. The biggest price to pay is the loss of your soul, the ability to look at yourself in the mirror.
What is the smallest effective action a person can realistically take now to feel that they are moving something and they are not silent?
We live in an era of unprecedented challenges, but at the same time, unprecedented opportunities for sharing opinions, even sharing basic scientific facts, but also social media outlets and platforms. I don't think they can fire someone for just showing that a Lancet study showed that there has been a 35 years collapse of life expectancy in Gaza, the highest number of medics killed in Gaza, the highest number of hospitals and ambulances bombed in Gaza, the highest number of journalists killed in Gaza. So sharing this knowledge is important in order to influence public opinion and eventually politicians. Even within the organizations people work, what we saw in Emilia-Romagna here after our petition was a clear example of what people can do. Doctors mobilized, they created conferences, they signed petitions, they made lots of sort of demonstrations in support of Gaza. All sorts of professionals have lots of influence if they join hands.
What does selective empathy reveal about institutional responses to Ukraine versus Gaza?
Basically selective because in other type of humanitarian crisis, some academic associations have been very vigorous and very determined in condemning the perpetrator of injustices and and those who were responsible for the humanitarian crisis. In the case of Gaza, this did not happen. When looking at the policy statements of several of these organizations, we noticed that Hamas was condemned for war crimes and crimes against humanity on October 7, which are crimes against humanity for sure. But there was neutral or even very soft language when considering the crimes and the genocide committed by Israel. In the case of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, this was very different. Russia was sanctioned, was attacked, was condemned unequivocally. This showed like a clear double standard among the public health and academic community. Health professionals have a duty also to intervene at the policy level because the social, economic, and political determinants of health are much more powerful in influencing health. And in this case, a genocide. We cannot just do our work. We also need to support policies that prevent and possibly stop a genocide.
Roberto, looking back now, what surprised you the most about colleagues' reaction?
I forgot to mention that there are also some benefits. And these benefits are the solidarity coming from your colleagues that say, thank you for doing what we wanted to do.
So, after everything that happened, are you today more pessimistic or more hopeful about institutional change?
It's just our job, right? I'm a professor of global health. If I don't try to stop the genocide, that is one of the worst global health catastrophes you can imagine, I should do another job, right? There should be a way to act and mobilize beyond the outcomes. We don't do just things because we think we win. We do things like this because they are just, right?
Thank you for sharing both your experience and the pathway behind it.
Thank you.
If you are watching, feeling morally compelled but uncertain where to begin, remember, your voice matters. Your professional standing gives credibility that external activists lack. Your silence has ethical costs, but your action can create meaningful change. If you are inspired to join this movement, reach out to Bystanders No More. We are building protective infrastructure to replicate these strategies for mid-career professionals. Together, we can transform passive concern into principled action. Thank you.